Hey everyone, let's just dive right into this explainer. Today we're going to systematically break down exactly how your body reacts when you're consuming way too much sugar. We constantly hear that we need to cut back on sweets, right? But how often do we actually look at the specific, physiological distress signals our bodies are sending us when we've overindulged? Well, today we are unpacking 10 distinct signs that you might be eating too much sugar, drawn straight from our source material. Now, we have all felt this bizarre combination before. Think about it. You just ate a little while ago, yet you're completely drained, your stomach is rumbling again, and you just kind of can't focus your mind. It's that classic crash. But instead of just brushing it off as a bad day, our source material actually provides 10 specific signs to help us understand exactly why this happens and honestly what it means for our overall health.
To make this all super easy to digest, we're going to group these 10 signs into a quick systemic tour of the body. We'll hit energy, brain, and mood first. Next up, cravings, weight, and skin. Then we'll cover the internal warning signs and finally wrap up with testing and taking action.
All right, starting with our first section, energy, brain, and mood. Let's look at how sugar directly impacts your mental clarity and your daily energy. So, the absolutely crucial point here is that rapid blood sugar fluctuations create this wild physiological roller coaster in your system. When you consume a lot of sugar, your blood glucose spikes super fast, but then, boom, it comes crashing down just as fast. And this constant spiking and crashing is directly causing chronic, constant fatigue. You basically never get a stable baseline of energy. But it doesn't stop there. Those same rapid rises and falls completely hijack your mental clarity, giving you brain fog and making it so hard to concentrate. Plus, as your energy plummets, your mood goes right down the drain with it. Hello, irritability and sudden emotional dips. Basically, your brain and your mood are being held hostage by these extreme blood sugar swings.
Moving right along to Section 2, cravings, weight, and skin. Let's see how this builds into visible physical changes and impacts your daily habits.
Now, this brilliantly illustrates a total vicious cycle. Think about it. You eat high-sugar foods that give you empty calories, but they completely lack satiety. They just don't fill you up at all. So what happens? You experience frequent hunger almost immediately after eating. And because you don't feel full, your body screams for more quick energy, which triggers these intense sugar cravings. It's crazy. Eating sugary foods literally reinforces your cravings for even more sweets. You end up trapped in this loop where eating sugar actually programs your body to demand more sugar.
And adding to that vicious cycle, these empty calories have very real physical consequences, specifically weight gain around the waistline. Because sugary foods and drinks add a massive amount of calories without ever making you feel full, it is just so incredibly easy to overeat and pack on those pounds. But the effects don't just stay on your waistline. They can show up right on your face. For some people, diets high in added sugars actively worsen acne or other skin problems and can even accelerate skin aging. So your skin is quite literally reflecting the excess sugar in your diet.
Okay, on to Section 3, internal warning signs. Let's dive into the deeper internal alarms your body starts sounding when your blood sugar stays persistently high. Now we're talking about serious systemic red flags here. One major indicator is increased, totally unusual thirst, which is actually directly tied to frequent urination. The mechanics behind this are fascinating. When your blood sugar is really high, your kidneys have to go into overdrive to remove that excess glucose, and they do it by flushing it out through your urine. So you end up urinating a lot more often, which then dehydrates you, making you incredibly thirsty. It's a whole chain reaction. But perhaps the most alarming internal signal is frequent infections or really slow wound healing. Persistently high blood sugar actively impairs your immune function. So if a simple paper cut is taking weeks to heal, well, the source notes this can actually be a sign of undiagnosed diabetes.
That brings us to our final section, testing and taking action. We've mapped out all 10 signs. So how do we move from just observing our bodies to actually taking concrete medical action?
It is so crucial to point out right here, experiencing constant fatigue, intense cravings, or even frequent urination does not automatically mean you have diabetes. These 10 signs are clues to review your diet and your lifestyle. They are an invitation to investigate, definitely not a final diagnosis. However, they absolutely do demand medical evaluation. If you're checking off multiple boxes on this list, it is definitely time to go speak to a doctor.
And if you do go to a doctor, there are 4 specific clinical tests they use to officially confirm a diagnosis. Whether it's checking your fasting blood glucose, looking at your average blood sugar over time with an HbA1c test, checking your random blood glucose, or doing a full-on oral glucose tolerance test, physicians have precise, well-established thresholds. This tells them exactly how your body is currently handling sugar.
Ultimately, the real reason all of this matters, the whole reason we're breaking down these 10 signs and looking at these clinical tests, is prevention. Securing an early diagnosis empowers you to take back control. According to the source material, early treatment is the absolute key to protecting your vital organs from severe, long-term complications. We are talking about protecting your eyes from damage, your kidneys from failing, your nerves from neuropathy, and your heart and blood vessels from cardiovascular disease. Catching these signs early, it is quite literally a matter of preserving your quality of life. So, I'll leave you with this final thought to ponder based on the 10 clues we've uncovered in our explainer today. Your body is constantly communicating with you. From that sudden, awful brain fog at 2 p.m. to an unquenchable thirst, to a stubbornly healing scratch on your arm, your body is talking. The real question is, are you truly listening to the signals it's sending you?